Chosen one, this message didn't find you by accident. God led you here for a reason. There's something stirring in the spirit that you can feel, even if you can't explain it. A shift is on the horizon, and it's not a small one. Heaven has been working behind the scenes, arranging divine events, moving pieces into place, and preparing a moment that will cause even your enemies to pause in awe. What's about to happen in your life is not only going to confirm what you've always known deep down, it's going to shock everyone who doubted, dismissed, or overlooked you. You were never forgotten. You were being set up for a reveal that only God could orchestrate. Let's break this down in 7 powerful chapters. Before we go any deeper, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because this isn't just a message, it's a prophetic alert, a divine heads up for the chosen ones who've been hidden, overlooked, and underestimated until now. And to everyone who's been pouring into this space through super thanks, God bless you beyond measure. Your faith, your presence, your quiet loyalty, it all matters. You are seen, and you are deeply appreciated. If your spirit resonates with this frequency, type 77 in the comments right now. That's not just a number. It's a spiritual code, a signal to the Most High and to the realm of angels that you are in agreement with this next move, that you're ready to step into what eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard. This message is not for the masses, it's for the mantle carriers, the ones God is about to shock the world through, the ones who've cried in secret but are about to be celebrated in public. Don't just listen once, let this word wash over you again and again, because every time you return to it, a new layer of revelation will be unlocked, and the confirmation you've been asking for will be made clear. You're not watching this by accident. You're watching because something major is about to shift, and you are the evidence. Let's begin. Chapter 1. You've been hiding in plain sight. Chosen one, let's begin with a truth that most overlook. You were never invisible. You were just divinely hidden. You've been walking among people who couldn't recognize your value because God didn't allow them to. Not because you weren't worthy of being seen, but because what you carry is sacred, too sacred to be handed over to those who don't understand the weight of it, too sacred to be consumed by eyes that only look for surface-level sparkle. From the outside, it looked like you were ordinary, like you didn't have much going on, like your life was quiet, uneventful, delayed. But in the spirit realm, everything about you has been moving with precision. Every season of isolation, every delay, every closed door. It wasn't punishment, it was preservation. While others were rushing to be seen, you were being built in silence. You were being trained in places no one clapped for. You were being anointed in private while the crowd passed you by. You didn't shine how they expected, and that's exactly how heaven wanted it. They couldn't see your depth. They couldn't decode your frequency. You were speaking in a language only the spiritually awake could hear. The world mistook your humility for weakness. They mistook your stillness for stagnation. But all along, God had you in a divine cocoon, developing your wings for a flight that couldn't be copied. The truth is, you were hidden for your own protection. You were kept from certain platforms, certain people, certain places. Not because you weren't qualified, but because they weren't qualified to receive you. They would have misused your gift, mishandled your heart, tried to trap your light inside their own shadow. So heaven stepped in and said, "Not yet. You were too important to be revealed prematurely." People looked past you. They tried to put you in a box. They tried to define you by your current situation. But they had no idea that you were never created to be seen in fragments. You are a full vision unfolding, and only God knows the right moment to pull back the curtain and let the world see what He's been developing. You weren't overlooked. You were observed by heaven. You weren't forgotten. You were being fortified. What they thought was a lack of progress was actually divine patience, a holy pause, a sacred delay to make sure the soil around you could hold the kind of roots you were growing. And now, the shift has come. You're not stepping into visibility because you crave attention. You're stepping into visibility because God is ready to use you as a sign that obedience pays off, that hidden seasons produce unstoppable oil, that what's built in silence cannot be shaken by noise. The unveiling is not about your fame. It's about God's glory being revealed through your life. People will be shocked, not just by what you do next, but by who you really are. They thought they knew you. They only knew the version heaven allowed. But now that the veil is being lifted, now that the layers are being peeled back, they will have no choice but to acknowledge there was always something different about you. And now, the difference is undeniable. You were hiding in plain sight, but you weren't hiding out of fear. You were hiding in alignment. And now, it's time. Heaven is saying, step forth. Earth is responding. And the ones who never saw you coming are about to witness a rise they can't explain. You didn't miss your season. You were being aligned with it. Chapter 2. The setup looked like a setback. Chosen one. Let's talk about the part of the journey that nearly broke you. The detours, the disappointments, the doors that slammed in your face. At the time, it all looked like failure. You cried yourself to sleep wondering why God allowed so many things to fall apart. You questioned your worth. You questioned your direction. You wondered if you had missed something, if maybe you made the wrong turn, trusted the wrong people, dreamed too big. But here's the truth. Heaven wants you to know now. It was never a setback. It was always a setup. You were never being punished. You were being positioned. Every delay was strategic. Every betrayal was permitted. Every heartbreak was allowed by heaven not to destroy you, but to deliver you. God wasn't trying to hurt you. He was trying to reroute you. He knew that if you stayed in certain rooms, they would drain you. If you stayed in certain relationships, they would dilute your purpose. So He let it collapse. He let it shatter. He let them walk away, not because you were unworthy, but because your calling was too powerful to be confined to broken places. What looked like abandonment was actually divine alignment. What felt like rejection was God's redirection. What seemed like missed opportunities were really closed doors protecting your future. You see, when you're chosen, God doesn't just answer your prayers. He overrides your preferences. He sees what you can't. And even when you begged Him to make it work, He was silent. Not because He didn't hear you, but because He had something greater in mind. And now, that greater is about to be revealed. You're entering a season where the pieces will begin to align in ways you never imagined. The things you cried over are about to become the very proof of God's favor on your life. The same paths that once led to pain will now point to promise. And the people who laughed at your process, the ones who whispered about your failures, they're about to watch you rise in a way that can't be explained. They won't understand how you bounce back. They won't understand how you got funded, how the doors opened, how the spotlight found you. But you'll know it was never your strategy. It was God's setup. You'll know that the crushing was necessary for the oil, that the silence was necessary for the clarity, that the valley was necessary for the view you're about to walk into. Chosen one, don't resent what didn't work. It was heaven's protection. Don't mourn what left. It couldn't carry the weight of where you're going. Every no was making room for the right yes. Every delay was heaven's way of saying, "Not like this, I've got something better." And now, that better is near. This next part of your journey will not be about force. It will be about flow. The things that once took all your strength to hold together will now come together effortlessly. And when they ask how you made it, how you survived, how you're still standing, you'll smile, because deep down, you'll know. The setup was divine. The story was sacred. And the God who allowed the storm is the same one who's about to command the wind to blow in your favor. Chapter 3. The oil on your life is undeniable. Chosen one, you don't need to explain yourself anymore. You don't have to convince anyone of your worth, prove your value, or fight for recognition. The oil on your life speaks for itself. It's loud in the spirit realm, even when you're quiet in the natural. You don't chase platforms, titles, or applause, because the presence you carry is the platform. The power you walk in is the evidence. This oil wasn't handed to you cheaply. It wasn't bought through popularity or shortcuts. It was pressed out of you in seasons where nobody clapped, nobody saw, and nobody stayed. It came from lonely nights, hidden sacrifices, silent tears, and radical obedience. It came from the fire you didn't choose, but didn't run from. The oil is the reward for not giving up when everything in you screamed to quit, for worshiping when you had no strength, for forgiving when it hurt, for trusting God when nothing made sense. And now, that oil is rising to the surface. You've been marked by heaven. You carry something eternal, something divine, something weighty. And people feel it even if they can't explain it. You're not just talented, you're touched. You're not just skilled, you're sealed. The atmosphere shifts when you walk in, not because of your name, but because of the name you've been faithful to serve. You don't just bring words, you bring presence. You don't just bring ideas, you bring impact, because your oil didn't come from inspiration, it came from intercession. You've been with God in the secret place. You've sat in the quiet, wrestled with truth, surrendered your will, and cried prayers that never made it to Instagram. And now, God is saying, it's time to pour, not just for your sake, but for the people assigned to your life. The oil wasn't just for your survival, it's for someone else's breakthrough. It's healing oil, restoring oil, awakening oil. And because you've been faithful with the crushing, God is about to make you a vessel of honor. People won't just admire you, they'll be moved by you. Not because of what you've achieved, but because of what you've overcome. Not because of what you say, but because of what you carry. You're not rising because you're perfect. You're rising because you've been purified. You let the fire do its job. You let the pruning have its way. And now, what was once hidden is about to be seen. The glory will rest on you in a way that no one can deny, not even your enemies. This oil will open doors your resume couldn't. It will attract favor you never applied for. It will bring partnerships, resources, and opportunities that your hands couldn't build, but your obedience unlocked. This is a season of divine recognition. Not because you sought it, but because God ordained it. He's lifting you, not for vanity, but for visibility. Because people need to see what faithfulness looks like. They need to see what purity produces. They need to see that holiness still has power. Chosen one, don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Don't minimize your journey to make your oil more palatable. You've earned this mantle. You've passed the test. And now, the oil is flowing, and it's flowing heavy. Chapter 4. Unexpected elevation is about to locate you. Chosen one, God is not bound by process position, or protocol. When he decides it's your time, no delay, denial, or demotion can stop what's already in motion. He specializes in surprise elevation, and that's what's coming your way. The same God who took Joseph from a prison cell to a palace in a single day, who took David from tending sheep to being anointed king in front of his family, is about to do something sudden in your life. Get ready. Heaven is about to interrupt your normal with supernatural speed. You've been hidden, overlooked, and underestimated, but that's exactly how God designed it. He's been preparing you in silence so he can reveal you in power. You weren't being delayed, you were being developed. And now, your preparation is about to collide with divine opportunity. Promotions, invitations, relocations, and revelations are about to find you without you having to chase them. The elevation won't come from striving. It will come from alignment. It will come because you obeyed when it didn't make sense. It will come because you stayed low while others reached high. This is not just a small breakthrough. It's a major divine shift. The kind that happens overnight, but was actually written in eternity. The kind that you didn't see coming, but God had planned before you were born. Expect phone calls that change everything. Expect someone to mention your name in a room where your feet have never stepped. Expect the Holy Spirit to position your gifts in front of people with power, not because you campaigned for it, but because you were consecrated for it. And those who once walked past you are about to do double takes. Those who once doubted your purpose are about to witness the evidence of God's hand on your life. They won't just hear about what's happening, they'll have no choice but to watch it unfold. But this elevation won't be for applause. It's not about proving yourself. It's about fulfilling prophecy. It's about God showing the world what He does with a life surrendered in secret. You're about to step into rooms you didn't qualify for. Be offered opportunities you never asked for. Be honored in places where you were once dishonored. But don't let the speed of the elevation shake your spirit. You were built for this. God is not elevating you because of your connections. He's elevating you because of your covenant. Your faithfulness in private is pulling favor into public view. And yes, it will happen fast, so fast that it will feel like a blur. But remember, the speed of your rise will match the weight of your refinement. You've been crushed, purified, and molded. And now God can trust you with influence. Because you don't crave it, you carry it with humility. He's about to turn the page, lift the curtain, and reveal the next chapter of your calling. Chosen one, get ready. This is your season of divine disruption. What you thought would take years, God will do in moments. What looked out of reach is about to come knocking. You've passed the test of waiting. Now elevation is locating you. And this time, it won't be small. It will be undeniable, unstoppable, and completely unexpected. Chapter 5. Your story is about to be used as prophecy. Chosen one. Everything you've endured, every heartbreak, every dark night, every rejection, every silent battle, wasn't just about your growth. It was about a greater glory. God has been writing a prophetic message with your life, one chapter at a time. While others were trying to look perfect, you were bleeding in private, crying in silence, and pushing through storms you couldn't explain. And now, God is about to take that very story, your real, raw, unfiltered story, and turn it into prophecy for others. You thought you were just surviving. You thought you were just making it through. But heaven saw it differently. Heaven saw you becoming a living word, a walking epistle, a breathing testimony. Your story carries power because it wasn't manufactured. It was forged in fire. You didn't memorize it. you lived it, and that's why it will pierce hearts, shift atmospheres, and break yokes off of people who are silently drowning. Your pain was never wasted. Your silence was never ignored. And now, what once felt like a burden will become your bridge to impact. God is about to amplify your voice in ways you didn't ask for. Because your voice carries the vibration of victory, your scars will speak, your tears will testify, and your healing will prophesy deliverance over souls you'll never even meet in person. What once disqualified you in the eyes of people is the very thing God is qualifying you with now. That betrayal, that failure, that moment of collapse, it's now oil in your hands. You carry the experience that can set others free. You've walked through what most pretend to pray about. You've overcome what others thought would kill you. And because of that, your story will carry resurrection power. Don't underestimate the reach of your testimony. It will go beyond borders, beyond cultures, beyond language barriers. Social media won't contain it. Pulpits won't limit it. Your name may not be famous, but your story will be anointed. And in this next season, God is going to breathe on your past and cause it to ignite purpose in someone else's present. People are going to ask, how did you make it through that? And your answer won't be rehearsed. It will be divine. Because you know it wasn't your strength. It wasn't your plan. It wasn't your intellect. It was God. It was grace. It was mercy. And now, what almost ended you is about to empower others. God is turning your survival into strategy, your wilderness into wisdom, and your breakdown into blueprint. Don't hide what you went through. Highlight it. Don't be ashamed of the chapters you thought would disqualify you. They're the most anointed parts. Your life is not just a testimony, it's a prophetic tool. Every battle you won, every tear you wiped, every silent yes you gave God when no one else saw. It's all about to speak louder than any sermon, book, or program. Chosen one, you are walking prophecy. Your life is about to do what words alone never could. Get ready to see your past become someone else's future. Get ready to watch God use your struggle as the seed for someone else's deliverance. And know this: what's coming won't just shock the world. It'll confirm heaven's hand has always been on you. Chapter 6. God is going to blow your own mind first. Chosen one. Before anyone else celebrates, before the applause, before the congratulations, you will be the one standing in complete awe. You will be the one whose mouth is open, whose heart is racing, whose spirit is overwhelmed by the sheer weight of what God is doing. Because you didn't just pray for this, you bled for it. You warred for it. You waited in rooms where you didn't belong, trusted in silence, and kept believing when everything around you said, "Give up." But now, the tide is turning. And it's not turning slowly. It's shifting with power, speed, and the kind of favor that man can't manufacture. Doors that were sealed shut for years are about to swing open without warning. People who overlooked you are going to be forced to watch the divine elevation they couldn't stop. And the wildest part? The breakthrough won't feel real at first, because it will be that supernatural. You've been trained to expect delay, conditioned to expect resistance, prepared for rejection. But now, God is about to shock even your faith. He's not just going to answer your prayers, He's going to exceed them. The kind of yes that makes you cry before you even say thank you. The kind of miracle that silences every voice of doubt, even the ones inside you. Because this move won't make sense. It won't fit your resume. It won't align with your timeline. It will only scream one word: God. He's going to do it in such a way that you'll be forced to put down your logic and pick up your worship. You won't be able to explain it. You won't be able to take credit for it. You'll just weep in wonder and say, "Only God." This is not about luck, coincidence, or connection. This is about divine timing, meeting divine preparation. This is about the King of Glory, proving that what he starts, he finishes, and he finishes in power. You've cried in silence long enough. You've buried your dreams out of survival. You've questioned if you missed it, if you misunderstood, if you misheard God. But you didn't. You were just early. What's happening now isn't random. It's reward. It's restoration. It's repayment for everything you endured without clapping back, everything you gave without being seen, and everything you trusted God for when it didn't make any sense. And here's the sacred part. This move isn't just for impact, it's personal. God is doing it in a way that will heal something inside of you. He's restoring not just what you lost, but how you see yourself. He's proving to you that he never forgot you, that your name has always been whispered in heaven, and that your obedience was not in vain. This isn't just a blessing. It's a prophetic unveiling, a divine announcement that your season of hiding is over, your days of delay are done, and your time of demonstration has begun. And while others will eventually see and be amazed, God's going to make sure that you see it first. You feel it first. You rejoice in it first, because you carried the cross. You endured the silence. You stood in the fire and didn't bow. So get ready, not for a blessing, but for an encounter. Not for an opportunity, but for an overflow. Not for a chance, but for confirmation. God is about to blow your own mind first. And what happens next will prove that every second of the wait was worth it. Chapter 7, Walk In. It's already done. Now that the shift is here, don't tiptoe. Walk in. You're not an imposter. You're not lucky. You're chosen, handpicked, heaven-endorsed. God has been preparing you for this since before you were formed in your mother's womb. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment has served a divine purpose. Even when you felt abandoned, even when you doubted your own reflection, the plan never changed. Nothing was wasted, not even your confusion. Your breakdowns were birth canals. Your waiting room was actually a war room. You are stepping into a realm that was always yours. You just had to grow into it. The pressure shaped you. The silence matured you. The pain purified you. The rejection redirected you. You had to lose who you thought you were to become who you truly are. It wasn't just about preparing the blessing for you. It was about preparing you for the blessing. So walk in boldly. Own the room without needing to announce yourself. Don't explain your presence. Don't downplay your mantle. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. God has already validated what people are just beginning to recognize. This elevation wasn't voted on. It was ordained. You don't need applause to affirm what heaven has already sealed. This next season won't require your old strategies. You won't need to beg, chase, or convince. The anointing on your life will do the heavy lifting. You're not coming as the underdog. You're stepping in as the answer. God is sending you as a solution in rooms that didn't even know they had a problem. And when you arrive, the atmosphere will shift, not because of your name, but because of the oil you carry. What's about to happen in your life is bigger than you. It's going to awaken people, shift atmospheres, and confirm God's hand in the earth. You will carry evidence, not just excitement. You will walk in authority, not just opportunity. You are not just entering a new chapter. You are becoming the fulfillment of prophetic promises that were spoken generations ago. Your obedience is about to break generational barriers. Your faith is going to fund futures. This time, you won't have to knock. The door will swing open by itself. This time, you won't have to strive. Your presence will speak before you do. This time, the favor will follow you without manipulation, and the right people will find you without effort. This is divine ease, not because the process was easy, but because the promise is now ripe. Heaven has already released what earth is about to receive. The angels have gone ahead of you. The space is prepared. The table is set. What's coming next will shock everyone, but it will feel like home to you. Because deep down, you always knew you were called for more. Even when you couldn't explain it. Even when no one believed it.